Ashley with Ashley's Reads on Twitter, or of Fiction and Fantasy on Instagram, and also now TikTok. That still feels weird to say. Today I am here to tell you how I have failed all of August. Today I am here in August, the middle of August, to admit defeat, essentially. I picked 3 readathons in July that I was going to join starting August 1st, and one of them was not month-long. So I should have known in advance that this would end very, very poorly, judging by my turtle-like reading speeds. So I'm not really sure what today is. I'm not sure if this is a July book mid-month wrap-up, or if this is an August TBR or an August wrap-up. I did not have time to brush my hair, so excuse this. And I have to film this video quickly before the Labradors get home from their walk. Here we are, Labrador free, pretty much book free at this rate too. So let's get into it. I picked 3 readathons this month, and the first one was Tropical Readathon, or is, I guess we're still in the readathon. And that one I am on Team Fantasy, which is apparently a very, very popular team choice, and the battery is dying. There are an incredibly large amount of prompts. 20, is it 20, 30? I'm not entirely sure, but it's more books than I have ever read in a month. But I did have high hopes of at least trying, and it helped me to find prompts for the books that I really need to read that I've been putting off all summer, into a readathon if they couldn't fit the other ones. So that one was awesome. I did that one as one of my first readathons last year and really enjoyed it. The second readathon that I am taking part in this month is the Among Us readathon, where I am a pink crewmate. I have not started almost any of those prompts, so I essentially admit defeat now. Better luck next year. And the third readathon that I took part in was from August 1st to August 15th, and that was the Enneagramathon, in which I was type 3, and I was very, 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 very excited about this readathon because I love the Enneagram, and I was just so excited to take part. And while I did not read any books in that time frame, which was very not type 3 of me, I had a great time. I met a bunch of other people. I met a bunch of type 3s, which I find very hard to meet other type 3s. I'm sure there's a lot of us like on BookTube, because that's a very like vlogging, I feel like, and like putting ourselves out on social media, I personally feel is like a very 3 thing, but I don't meet a lot of them because we're all so busy. I kind of think that like we don't meet each other as easily sometimes, and so that was really, really helpful, and I'm very excited. I would definitely take part in all 3 of these readathons again, and hopefully do better next time. So I could tell you the incredibly long list of books that I hoped to read in August, but the truth is, what day is it? The truth is that it's August 18th, and there are, I believe, 31 days in this month. And the truth of the matter is that I will be cutting myself off from starting new books as of the 23rd, which is 5 days from now, and I'm only close to finishing one of these books. So the truth of the matter is I'm not really going to start any more books than the ones I've already started, except for like 2. And I know what they are because one's for a book tour and one is a library book. So I am going to tell you guys what I'm currently reading and what I hope to read before the end of the month. And then I will announce what readathon I am taking part in September, and we're gonna pretend August didn't happen. It's gonna be great, and we're just gonna move on. Thanks for sticking with me. For July books, I am still reading Half Sick of Shadows by Sebastian. I am maybe 30 to 40% done with it, and it is finally getting interesting, but I guess we'll find out more in my July wrap-up that I post next year. I'm still reading What We Devour by Lindsay Miller. I am about 80% of the way through. I have already DNF'd a book for July, and if I had not already DNF'd a book for July, I would have DNF'd this book. I have cared about maybe 2 sentences, maybe 3 sentences in the entire story. Not 3 plots, literally 3 sentences. I would like to blame that book entirely for my reading slump in July, but I also did DNF Where the Crawdads Sing. So July was just really not a good month for me picking out books to read. So we're gonna do better in September, hopefully. So moving on from those, the last one that I am on for July is The Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and I was reading this on my ebook this morning, so I know that I'm at least halfway done, but I don't know anything after that. For August, I started The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. This is the Wheel of Time read-along, and so the goal is to read one book a month. So we should be starting book 2 in September, and I am this far. I want to say that I'm gonna, like, you know, just catch up magically this weekend, but like, I'm gonna do the best that I can, and that's all I can do at this point. The Eye of the World I am also reading as the prompt for Tropical, my team book, which is There Be Dragons. Now, I think I took this too liberally. I think there's not literally a dragon. I think there is a character whose nickname is the dragon. But to be fair, I did not know anything about The Eye of the World when I started it. I'm actually still like really confused. Like, is it about reincarnation? The world, and there's a wheel. We're moving on. The second book that I started for August is The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. It was the Type 3/Team 3 book or group read in the Enneagramathon. So I picked this book because of that readathon. So I'm at least really grateful that I got to find a new book to read. And I also picked this as a group read prompt for Tropical Readathon. This one is about a girl who is attempting to charm a king into marrying her. It does kind of give me like Cinderella-ish vibes because she has to wait for her older sister to get married first. Not evil stepsisters, but it did give me that vibe a little bit. I'm not very far. And it is about her wanting to marry the king, not for love, but so that she can murder him so that she can be the queen by herself. That is all that I know about this book. Which, it sounded really interesting. It's playing out a little more cliche, but I hope I enjoy it. Those are the only 2 August books that I have started / am reading at this time. The next book that I will absolutely be reading in August, and I will be starting next, is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. And thank you so much to Sarah A. Parker and to Turning Page Tours because I get to be a tour host for this book. And that is early September, so I have to read that one starting next. I'm very, very, very excited. I picked this for the Among Us readathon because it is, unfortunately for me, over 450 pages, and it is the absent / dead parents trope for the Tropical Readathon. For this one, I know that it is a retelling of Rapunzel, and I believe it is like a dark fantasy. I believe that it starts with Rapunzel and being locked in her tower, and that's all that I know, but I'm very excited because I very, very, very much love Rapunzel, and I'm so excited to be a part of that tour, so I'm hoping I can get through this book much faster. So I will definitely be starting that one. The next one that I frankly just have to start because I will be consumed with shame if I requested this book to be bought at the library and then renewed it twice already and then didn't read it. I can't do that. So I'm going to at least start this book, worst case scenario, bring it back, and then immediately check it out and hope they don't ask me questions. That is Between You, Me, and the Honeybees by Amelia Diane Coombs. And this one meets the prompt of being food themed for the Tropical Readathon. They both are competitors in like a food festival. That's not the right term at all. Like the fair has some sort of competition, and I think they both make honey. Is that right? Honey or pie or some kind of food, and they're competitors, and so it's like rivals to lovers. Is that the right term? Like they're not enemies, like they're out to murder one another. This is a contemporary. I did get this because I was in a very honeycore mood for the summer. I am still in a very honeycore mood, but I also can feel Christmas like screaming at me, just like in my soul, like slithering through my veins. I can hear like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I want my holiday mugs out of the cabinet. So I need to read this fast because my Honey Gore vibes are fading for the year. This book, yeah. There's not much else that I know about this book. There was some kind of, I think, like mental health representation, but I don't know if it was for anxiety. So whatever it was, I was excited to see it in a book, but I don't know specifically what the rep was because it's been a hot minute. I did get some really cool pre-order art with this one that I love, and I don't know where I put them, but it comes with a pie recipe, so I'm gonna try to make that at some point. And yeah, those are the only 2 books that I can guarantee that I may actually be able to start in August. But assuming that a miracle happens, or I actually sit my butt down on my couch with my free time and read, like, this is supposed to be my main hobby as a vlogger slash bookstagrammer slash TikToker. I hate that word. But I've been just doing other things. I don't know, I've been going hiking, I've been playing Sims again, I've been cooking like every other day. My family is finally recovered from testing positive for things that we don't want to test positive for. So I am really, really grateful and finally feeling less stressed about that. Courtney, if you were watching, thank you so much for sending a care package. That was the sweetest thing in the world. And sorry, I'll cry. And, yeah, so if I manage to like defeat the odds and read all of those and start a new book, I put 2 down as hopefuls, which is Fay Away by Rose Garcia, an ebook prompt for Tropical Readathon. And this one, again, I have no idea what it is about, except that it is like a fae queen who falls in love with a human, and I think the human's name is Julio, or Julie, I think it's Julio. But that one has a beautiful cover, and I keep saying that I'm going to read it, and it was a June arc, so we're definitely behind on arcs too. So thankfully, I think publishers have been like kind of in that lull period where we had the summer releases, and then we can request for like 3,000 fall releases, but there's a nice little gap where I have not gotten an incredibly large amount of arcs. So I am actually really grateful for that because it's giving me a little bit of catch-up time. I do get one today though, so. And I'm hoping to get to that one. And the other one is for the Atlantis book club that I am part of, that I am reading A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire for as my July book. So if I can manage to sneak another one in as something just to read like for funsies, because this book club is really just like my taste, then I will read A Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova as a retelling prompt for Tropical Readathon. This one I was told is a Hades and Persephone retelling. I've had some other reviews that I've read say it was not a Hades and Persephone retelling, but someone and at least one other review told me it was a Hades and Persephone retelling. And so I don't think anyone in my book club said it was Hades and Persephone, but I at least saw a couple reviews that said it was. So we're just gonna wing it at this point. I think it's basically that this girl is captured from her village and is told that like she needs to marry the Elf King. I think she's a human. I'm not sure, but I have been wanting to read it for a long time. And it did not meet 4 stars on Goodreads. It was close, I think, but like by my own standards, I wouldn't read it on my own. But I'm so curious, and so I'm very excited to finally get to it. And I think that's it. So To Bleed a Crystal Bloom, The Shadows Between Us, The Eye of the World, A Deal with the Elf King, Between You, Me, and the Honeybees, and Fay Away. That's it. We cannot possibly do more than that for August, and we probably won't do all of that for August either. So that's pretty much it for the month, babes. I'm sorry. I admit defeat for this month. But for September, I will be taking part in Bookathon. I am very excited because I actually started my vlog based on like seeing Becca's vlogs. I was not like an avid booktube watcher before starting this, so I'm very, very excited. It is actually my 1-year bookaversary for booktube and for bookstagram. So I bought myself a cake and I took cute photos of it that you'll see in a few weeks. But I am so happy to have been here for a year. Thank you, whether you have watched all of my videos or whether this is the first video of mine that you have ever seen, whether you watch them all the way through or you just click and watch the first 30 seconds like Michael. I am so thankful that you guys are here, and I am so beyond surprised just to see the amount of you guys that care to like follow on different forms of my social media, like what I'm reading, just as one human being who loves fantasy. And so I'm really grateful, and I am really so grateful for you guys for helping to allow me the opportunity to get like advanced readers copies to be able to tell you all about, or to get to beta read books or proofread things. And it's just been an incredible year for following my dreams with bookish related things, and I am so grateful. I know I've said that like 17 times, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So thank you so much, and I will be back. Tomorrow is the announcement video for Becca's Bookaverathon, and I will be probably rolling in advance with Noah. So I should have a September TBR video coming up, and I would love to know how you guys have done in August. I hope that you guys were not in a reading slump like me, and tell me what your favorite book of the month so far has been, and I will catch you guys later.